Today I want to talk about a subject that sits at the crossroads of spirituality and mental health, when divine experiences look like delusions, a place where many people struggle, often silently. It's the question of when divine experiences can look like delusions, and how we can tell the difference with compassion, humility, and wisdom. Throughout history, human beings have reported moments where they felt touched by something greater than themselves. People have heard a voice of guidance in a crisis, received comfort during grief, or felt a sudden insight that changed the course of their lives. Across every religion, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Buddhism, and more, these experiences are honored as moments of deep spiritual meaning. But in the modern world, especially in the fields of psychology and psychiatry, these same experiences can sometimes resemble symptoms of mental distress. When they look similar, it becomes easy for people to be misunderstood, misdiagnosed, or even dismissed. So how do we navigate this? First, we must understand the context matters. A spiritual experience usually happens within a framework someone already believes in. Scripture, tradition, prayer, meditation, or personal faith. A delusion, by contrast, often appears suddenly without a grounding story, and it tends to isolate the person instead of connecting them. Spiritual experiences generally bring peace. Delusions often bring fear. Spiritual insight usually guides a person toward compassion, forgiveness, or purpose. Delusions tend to lead toward chaos, paranoia, or confusion. Spiritual moments are usually open to interpretation and discussion. Delusions are typically rigid, non-negotiable, and disconnected from reality. But even with these differences, the overlap can be confusing, both for the person experiencing it and for the people around them. The person might ask, is God speaking to me, or is my mind under stress? And that's a frightening question. It takes courage to face it. This is why mental health professionals and faith leaders need to work together, not against each other. Neither psychology nor religion has a monopoly on truth. Person is both a spiritual being and a biological being, and both perspectives matter when someone is trying to understand what they're experiencing. It is absolutely possible for a person to have a strong faith and also have a mental health condition. These two things are not mutually exclusive. A person with bipolar disorder can pray deeply. A person with PTSD can still believe in God. A person with anxiety or dissociation can still have meaningful spiritual moments. Mental health does not cancel out spiritual dignity. But at the same time, we must be honest. When someone begins hearing voices that terrify them, or receiving commands that put them in danger, believing they have a divine mission no one else can verify, it is important and even life-saving to seek evaluation and support. Not because their faith is invalid, but because their suffering is real. A good mental health professional won't mock someone's religious beliefs. A wise spiritual leader won't ignore someone's symptoms. The best care comes from both sides, working to keep the person granted safety and respected. So today I want to leave you with this. Experiencing the divine is a deeply human part of life, but when those experiences cause confusion, fear, or disconnection, it is not a moral failure to ask for help. It is not a lack of faith, it is simply being human. We honor spirituality by approaching it with humility. We honor mental health by approaching it with compassion. We honor the person when we recognize that sometimes the line between the two is thin, but their worth and dignity are never in question. Thank you.